In this pod, I'm with my good friend Ryan Putz. I think we had a good time, just kind of got off to it. So I hope you heard my dog barking in the back there. Enjoy. All right, I'm here, my boy, my twin. I've known him a long time.
Identical,
Just so
not
happens
fraternal.
We look exactly alike, not fraternal at all. Friends from town, our parents don't look anything alike, yet here we are.
Mm-hmm.
Like a mirror sitting in front of each other.
It's actually kind of crazy. Dude, I used to think about like us like just switching and like just going to class for each other back in the day.
Those times we used to like mess with each other's parents, like hey, it's me, Ryan. Did I say your name? Ryan Putz.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
What's up, everybody? Nice to meet you. Hopefully I'll be frequenting the podcast, so hopefully you'll be hearing this voice a lot.
Chuddy, tell me this, dude.
What's up?
COVID started
Right.
a couple months ago, mid-March, whatever. When this thing broke out, you were Mr. Social Distancing. You were like the poster child.
I was.
Everyone looked to you for how they should be social distancing.
Right. I did isolate myself heavily.
Set the standard.
For the first, dude, because I was honestly scared. When it first came out, like, dude, it kind of hit me, like especially once like sports and everything just like closed down, like it was.
Right. Everyone's taking this.
Yeah, dude, it was like the world was at a standstill. You know what I was saying? Like the economy was shut down for like, dude. I mean, just the effects that it had right now, like our economy.
Even still.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Still, like the economy we're at worse numbers than the Great Depression. Like it's honestly we're living through history, dude. It's a monumental event.
Yeah, it's kind of
not
cool.
in a good way either.
The living through history part,
yeah.
It is kind of cool though.
Yeah. No, it is.
Kind of got to form an opinion on it, you know, like what happened when we were 20 that everyone just stopped going outside for like a couple months, like.
Yeah, it's scary, dude.
So my question really was though, what got you to stop social distancing?
To stop social. Dude,
what pulled Mr. Social Distancing out of the house?
Dude, because when the whole coronavirus thing first went down, right? Everybody was on like, dude, this shit's like. At first, everybody was like, oh, like it's not gonna like even come in the U.S. Like nobody was even like thinking about it. And then, dude, as soon as we started getting a couple cases, and it just kept doubling and doubling and doubling and doubling.
It was doubling,
and it was doubling. It got bad, dude. And I was basically like.
And that's why you went out.
What? No, this is why I didn't go out in the first place. So, and then, like, everybody was scared, right? And then, like, everybody was in quarantine for, like a month or so. Like, after, like, a month or so, a lot of stuff started coming out about, like, how the numbers that everything was doubling, like, they weren't true. Like, and, like, they were, like, exaggerated. Like, not that they weren't
And there
true.
were reports that were... For the first time, like 2 weeks after there were reports that it was like, wait, is everything we're hearing
right?
not...
And then it's like, it's also like if you're under, like, yes, like you can give it to somebody who's old and who has like pre-existing conditions, but like I'm a young healthy male and like it's like my odds of actually. I read this. Like we were saying, articles are coming out now. Like, right.
You're just seeing stuff every day. Whether it's Elon tweeting, like, you know,
open the fucking economy,
or, whatever. So I read this article. It was actually kind of nuts. I didn't personally look at the timeline, but according to the article, it said England kind of set the precedent for these lockdowns. They were the first.
They were the first? I thought it was Italy.
Well, it was China, and then I think
China,
maybe Italy went really bad before anything, and then UK locked down.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? They set the precedent. And then, because I'm according to the article, USA, Australia, a couple other of the Western countries followed after UK did it.
Right.
So the reason UK did it is because a man named Neil Ferguson released some type of model with numbers, you know, with what's going to happen if coronavirus gets here and then if we don't lock down,
right.
if we don't start adhering to social distancing, everything. Yeah. This guy's Neil Ferguson, okay?
Yeah.
He projected, you know, millions of deaths or whatever, and this is what he does for a living. Right. He takes viruses like this and he in 2005. Okay, let me just give what the shit I remember from the article. 2005 for the bird flu in UK, he projected that they were going to have 200 million deaths.
Right.
They had 600, something like that. Right. Literally 600, not 600,000, just 600. Swine flu, same thing in 2009, I believe. Swine flu. He projected 20 million, 40 million deaths.
What do you say about
Ebola? I saw all these things. He came out with every single viral thing, almost trying to scare the public, saying
he was overshooting it by a mile.
These numbers are way bigger than all these were. The avian flu was like 500. Swine flu was like
He had a big say in setting the precedent in the UK.
So according to models that he made, is why UK locked down.
Okay.
After UK locked down, Western countries were also doing their same science. Don't get me wrong, but now they locked down. If we don't lock down now and shit turns south. Then, what are we gonna do? We're gonna look really bad.
Yeah, I mean.
So everyone kind of followed that.
Sorry. Yeah.
Everyone kind of. And I mean, listen, I don't think I'm in any place to say whether the lockdown was good or bad.
Right,
the only example we have to compare it to is Sweden. Sweden's a totally different country than the USA. It's totally different. They live in fjords and fucking sing all day in the ice-capped mountains. But they never closed down. Did you know that?
No, I did.
You didn't know about Sweden?
Wait, Sweden has not still?
Never. And they only...
Wait, you're saying even with the...
Even till now. Sweden never closed down.
They're still... Do they have their
The
cases?
only thing they did was not allow gatherings above 50 or 100 people. It was something like that. Yeah. That was their only rule. Other than that, everyone's working. Everyone's going to school. Everyone's...
Yeah.
Life went on. And what they found... I mean, according to the article that I read, and I'd seen some other things, but what is found is that basically what you said before and what we all know, if you're under 65 years old, you have a 99.9% chance of surviving this. Yeah. A 99% chance of surviving something is anything in life. That water bottle might fucking kill you, Putz. Yeah. You might chew on that bottle cap, choke on it, and pass out during the podcast. You're taking a risk with anything. You know what I mean? Of course, I don't mean to be insensitive because I don't have because people are dying.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what you got to think.
And I don't want to get my grandma sick. I've been careful to not do certain things around older family members, but
Well, no, the one thing. So you know that my dad, he works in the hospitals, right?
Right. And he goes in there.
And dude, what he was telling me was that shit was getting so bad that they were taking the ventilators, right? And that's what they need for the people who are basically about to die. He was saying that they were taking literally they ran out of ventilators, so they would just take the closest thing to it and just makeshift one, and people were getting fucked up from that because they weren't getting proper ventilators.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, people they were just it's mad. And that's in New York though. That's not everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There are places who haven't even. They have three. Some counties have 3 cases. It's
Well, over in Pennsylvania, they seem seemingly unaffected.
Oh no, 100%.
Yeah, they're fine there. It's just we're right in the hotbed.
Right.
We're Bergen County here, broadcasting out of Passaic County. I'm sorry.
Passaic County. Yeah, fuck Bergen.
Right across the road, but fuck Bergen County.
Yeah, fucking rich.
Anyway, dude.
Yeah, dude, but a lot of places are starting to go back to normal. I went back to school. To go move my stuff out. I go to West Virginia University, and literally it was no masks. There was no rules. I know that the bars opened up 3 weeks ago. I'm pretty sure in West Virginia.
3 weeks ago, bars opened up.
It's been.
Life's okay.
They've been.
You got to get down there.
I know, dude. But then again, you got to think there was in that whole entire state there might have been a couple hundred cases, 300 or 400 cases in the entire state, just because it's so spread out. That's why New Jersey got really screwed over because. And obviously New York, everything's
right under,
everything's so compact, dude. Everybody's right next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's
on school. Why don't you tell what are you going to school for, Chetty?
Advertising. Trying to be like the Madman.
Yeah, the Madman. John Hamm in Mad Men, if you've seen it.
No,
Guy killed the role.
I haven't seen it in a minute.
John Hamm's the main fucking guy.
John Hamm?
John Hamm. That's the actor's name. But what is it actually? Damn, I don't know.
I haven't seen the show.
Oh wait. We got Bob's on it.
Oh yeah, we have our assistant Callie over here to the left.
Advertising, yeah. So with advertising, my friend Putz had a really interesting. Don Draper, right?
Don Draper, that's what it was.
Yeah, he's gonna be like Don Draper,
yeah.
Exactly. But he had a really interesting internship.
Yeah.
Or not really I mean, it was whatever. It was kind of just working there.
Dude, I was had
Tell him what you
I
did.
was a salesman,
Tell him what you
bro.
did.
I was a salesman.
You were a salesman.
I was literally a salesman. I worked for this place, and when I saw them on LinkedIn, they advertised themselves as a face-to-face marketing agency, right? Which, if you think about face-to-face marketing, it's just fucking, what are you doing? It's sales, bro. You're just talking
right
to somebody.
in front of me, yeah.
So I went. I got an interview. Obviously, they gave it to me because I'm pretty sure they gave it to like everybody. There were a lot of dumb and stupid people at that place. And yeah, so I would go in every day. They would give me a baggage of phones, and I would go to the ghetto, like places of low income, and the office. The office itself was based out of Manhattan, right? So if you think about Manhattan, it's like right in the center. So I would go to the center, and then you'd go out into the Brooklyn, downtown,
Sure.
and you'd go to the Bronx.
Sure, but tell me more like
the people.
I'm on the
the people.
Tell me about some of the people. Tell me about some of the people.
So
Because
picture this.
Isn't
Picture
that what
this.
sales is about? The people?
Yeah, exactly. All right, so picture this. You obviously, you can't see me right now. We don't have any video, but I am a very tall white man. Okay, let's say that. I'm a very tall white man. And
in as you said, low income area / perhaps the ghetto.
Ghetto, as I would put it. Right. So I'm going up to you in a full blown suit, right? On the corner of the most populated streets, which are usually not good. Dude, and I would try to basically take anybody and sell them a phone. And they weren't my phones. I would sign them up for a plan.
What was the deal with the phone? It was
phone,
a burner.
It was a burner. Yeah, it was a burner. There was no monthly plan, and basically the way it worked was, so there was no monthly plan on these phones, right? But there was a bunch of options for phones that you could have, right? So you could sign up and get a free phone. The free phone was obviously absolutely shitty. And after
he
that,
gave me one actually.
Yeah, actually
I
gave.
played with a couple of us.
It breaks after a couple weeks.
Yeah, it basically sucks. I mean, it's just their like gut rate, whatever.
It's a terrible phone. But after that, right, then you start getting into the paid phones, and this is a one-time payment, right? Mm-hmm. And that's where you make your commission, right? Because I made only strictly commission. And the free phones, I only got like $6 or $7 commission from. But if I would sell a paid phone, right, I would be getting like $20, $25 commission. So I sell a couple paid phones per day. You know I'm chilling.
What would, if I was thinking paid phone, say, no, you know
like $25
I'd rather leave here with the cheaper phone. Is that okay with you?
So, yeah, no. That's the thing that wasn't okay with me, because at that point, once I told you that you were approved for a phone, then I already had your information. All I had to do was type in the serial number of a phone, and it turned on, right? Mm-hmm. So once I told you were approved, I'm like, yeah, like you only qualify for the upgraded phone though. Like it's something to do with your health insurance. Like what you gotta do. It's just something to like. That's what I would say. I was like, it's something to do with your health insurance. And I'd basically say you could only buy like one of the paid phones, but like don't worry, like they're 100% better phones. Like honestly, our free phones are pretty shitty anyway. Yeah. And some of the people I'd be telling were very big and
perhaps who would you imagine would want a phone
plus
that
size,
only lasts about a month?
Yeah, looking like Mike Tyson.
Kind of can throw away.
And me being the tall white guy, trying to be, like a charismatic, like, yo, dude, like trying to relate, like slide out. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, but you gotta think about it. There's no monthly bills, and then like he'd start thinking that like people would not take it well, because they would feel like that I'm trying to take advantage of them.
Yeah,
like because I brought you in. Because I'm like, yo, like, come get a free phone. Because that's how I'd bring them in. I'd be like, yo, come get a fucking free phone. And I'd be like,
sales,
but that free phone is a one-time payment of $25. And Yeah, basically I did that. I wasn't that bad at it because you'd get like the old people and a lot of times they would buy it. And like I made, I don't know, dude, over the summer, it was a 3-month period. I probably made $2,000 in total.
Yeah.
Like something like that, like some bullshit. Like I did not make a lot of money.
Whatever. It was tough. I mean, I think it was good experience for you.
No,
you were
100%.
coming back and
Dude,
you were hassling me and the boys, just like with your salesman tactics, fucking trying out everything.
Dude, they did.
It's pretty funny.
They
time.
did teach me shit there. It was kind of crazy though, bro. They were fucking the head. Like I made no money, and there were a lot of people. Dude, think about it. So I was racking in probably around an average of like $200 per week. I was working Monday through Saturday. I would go into the office at 8 and I would leave at 6, dude.
Yeah, you were grinding
dude,
for this shit.
And bro, and like I said, I was only making like $200 a week, dude. And let me tell you, those were the hours for everybody. Everybody who worked there the same hours. They would go in at 8, they would leave at 6, dude. Everybody, because we'd go in at 8 and then they'd send you out. Like you just fucking go out.
You'd be all around.
We'd be everywhere. I would never be at the office. I'd only be at the office for like
yeah.
2 hours out of the day, right? But in the morning, at the end of the day, right, everybody would come back to the office. We'd give our head fucking honcho guy our numbers, right? And bro, there were some people that I was friends with because they were like, dude, the people who were working there were like 20, 21, like 23. There were a couple fucking like 80-year-olds. Like it like it like varied, but like I would be like talking to the young kids and be like, yo, like how much you get paid? Like last week, bro, he'd be like, yo, like $40. I'm like, dude, like you worked like almost like 60 hours. Like I'm like, you got
for
paid
$40.
$40. You like, yeah, dude.
Then
like,
he must have sold 1 or 2 phones.
Yeah, exactly. But Jesus it was legal because technically we're what's it called? We're independent contractors.
Okay.
So it was all legal, everything that they were doing. But basically, dude, it was you had to fucking.
I thought that was a cool job.
You have to kill to eat, bro.
Yeah. Your dad actually mentioned to me one day at the diner that he had you covered this year, like with something decent in the city, like after what you did last year.
And dude,
and then this shit like kind of all happened with the virus.
Not even that, bro, dude.
Oh, what happened?
That bitch was so like.
Bitch. What happened,
bro? Dude, my dad, like, I was reaching out to my dad for a while, and I was like, yo, like, hook me up, like, let me get, like, give me this, like, so like, all right. So basically,
what was it?
Yeah. Let me tell you about the woman. So my dad works with this guy, and his sister is like this big. She like literally like from a startup. Like she started up this little advertising agency. It's now like this huge, like over 400 employees.
Conglomerate.
Yeah, in the center of Manhattan, bro. Like so,
I
was like, that's perfect. Like, so I was like begging him. Like I would text him like. I mean, dude, and it's not like he was like no, like, but I would text him like every week, like, yo, like, talk to the guy, like, get that girl's number. And he would be like, and he would say, okay, and then he'd come back and he'd be like, yeah, like I didn't see him this week, or like, oh, he was like on a business trip, and like, so I was like, yo, just give me this guy's number. So I texted this guy. I was like, dude, what's your sister's number? And he gave me her number, and I texted her, and originally she was just not even originally, the entire time she was just giving me one okay. Yes. Like,
short.
Send me your resume, like, and then at the end of it, I was like, all right, like, I sent you I was like, I just sent it, like, and then like a week later, she texted me and she was like, hey, like, I'm just letting you know, like, we had around like 400 applicants, like, for this position, like, she was like, just like to like get like, she basically said, don't get your hopes up, and I was like, oh, all right. And then
did she know anything about like your dad? Like you were connected?
Yeah, I told her. So that was my original text, dude. I texted her like a fucking 2-paragraph essay, and she literally she texted me back 3 words. She said apply online. 2 words.
Oh, you get that back?
Yeah,
you know,
dude. I was like,
she did not have time for that.
Yeah, nah. So that fell through, but.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
You know what we should do? Smoke a little loud.
I'm with that, bro.
Let's
fuck it up.
So actually, what I rolled here today.
What is that, dude? Explain this to me. It's like a little. Dude, I wish the people could see this. This is like a
skinny, tiny poop stick.
A skinny, tiny poop stick.
It's like if my dog eats too much grass. No, so. In my dad's pocket, I got blamed for it, you know, and he doesn't want to fight because he doesn't smoke or anything. He'd found this tiny little 2-pack of Al Capone's. Do we still have the box or we throw it out? We threw it out. Yeah.
Why do you have...
Oh, it's right here. It's right here, actually.
I've never.
It was just this. This small,
I've never even
literally.
seen these.
Yeah, it was loaded with some tobacco, but like, I don't think it was for smoking. I think it was
Your dad
to
had
rip
it?
it out and make. It mysteriously appeared in his jeans, and he was
Did
like,
you
"How
buy
the
it?
hell did it get here?" No, I also don't know where it came from. None of
Dude.
us seem to know where it came from.
It's definitely Jill.
Nah, dude, Jill didn't know
Actually,
either,
Jill,
but
Jill definitely doesn't smoke them.
yeah, I don't know what. No, I don't know who the hell would smoke this anyway.
Yeah.
I really don't. But it kind of just looked like a mini white owl,
Yeah.
and that's how I rolled it. And we smoked one earlier, and it burns slow. Rips kind of nice. Like it's all right. It's all right. Does the trick.
Let's get it going.
If we need a couple auxiliary rips from the bong, we'll do so when
some excess.
when nature calls.
Some excess.
Anyway, about Bud, there's this kind of cool, I guess, internship for Bud. Have you ever heard
Dude,
about
are you
these
kidding
on
me?
the farms?
I did. I mean, I applied for 2 internships that have to do with legal, but I mean, one was to Dan Bilzerian's company, which obviously I was not expecting to get, and I still haven't heard an email back. Dan, if you're listening, definitely get back to
Dan,
me.
hit him back.
I can bring a lot to your company. Basically, your marketing department will go through the roof.
Yeah, because he doesn't have enough marketing with a bunch of sexy bitches on a yacht.
Well, no, but all he's got is Instagram, bro. All he's got is Instagram.
No,
which is a huge platform
well-
to own. Basically, he kind of owns it. Like, if you think about it, not he doesn't own it, but like, he's when you think of Instagram celebrities, like.
I do not first think of Dan Bilzerian. That's
Really?
that's
Top
just
10,
who
bro.
you're. Maybe he's probably in numbers. Maybe he's top 10. I don't know. I don't know. I
No,
don't
no,
love
I'm
the
not
guy,
talking about
honestly,
it.
but
That's just in my. I don't know if he is top 10 in numbers. That's just my opinion, but.
I don't know. But what I was actually.
Yeah, about the.
Yeah, dude. And many farms offer this, out California, Colorado, whatever. It's a system. They also do this with tigers, weirdly enough. We'll get back to that. But it's like a system where your first year you work for free. But you're on the farm. You're growing weed, smoking weed, getting food. You have a house there, like...
Wait,
not a house,
they provide
a bunk. They provide... You live there on the farm. That's the thing.
And you work for free for a year, and then after that you get paid.
Yeah, you don't even have to stay after a year or whatever, but you can stay after a year and get paid, like, and then it's a system like that, like 2 years, 3 years, whatever. It's like a system where you work
And you
up.
just do you just constantly stay at the like you live at the farm basically.
You live at the farm. Yeah, I wonder. I mean,
even the full
if
like
you get,
the not interns, you know. What
I
I'm
would
saying?
imagine. I actually think I know for Lions it was a year. I may be thinking of that. For weed it may be like 8 months, 6 months, or was it a year? You looked
What
this
I
up.
saw was a year.
Yeah.
It was
And-
1 year, and they give you like a bunker to live in. It's not
Yeah.
a house. You're living in a cabin with other people.
But yo, that shit's probably hotboxed 24.
And I would
From
imagine.
what I did see, the people who work and live there like for free, they can just pick and take whatever they want.
Well, I mean, obviously, yeah, you're
Yeah.
fucking picking it. Like, are you kidding me? Imagine looking at a farm of weed and not taking like.
Do you want it?
He gave it to me.
Oh, I wasn't sure. Okay.
Imagine looking at a farm of weed and not taking a couple nugs to smoke after
Oh,
you farm
no
it. Like,
chance.
dude, get out of here. Especially
Would
when you're
you-
working for free. When you're working for free, like, get out. What do you think I'm getting? Like, what do you think I'm doing here? This isn't free labor.
So you'd consider it then for free bud?
If I like
Living on the farm for a year? I would also
Depending-
I would also imagine after your
What
first
he-
year.
He didn't explain it enough, I think. After that year, it's
You
not
get-
guaranteed that you can stay and get a job. They have to choose
just like any
to
intern.
want,
It's
yeah,
just like
they have
any
to choose
internship.
to want you to
Yeah.
keep working there. So you can just lose a year of your life by just living
Yeah.
and working on this farm.
I would
That's
also
also risky.
imagine though if you're good within that first year. I mean, you have to graduate first year, just like whatever everybody. But then after that, you may not even be stuck to the farm.
I
Like,
mean-
a lot of these weed things are big businesses now. You know.
That's what I'm saying. There's more than one farm around here, and just having something like, I mean, personally, I don't like want to get into the farming or like cultivation of cannabis like
Yeah,
industry.
no interest.
But like for the people who do, like that'd be like any
You want
other.
to get into sales,
Yeah,
baby.
nah.
You don't need to sell,
dude.
bud.
Everything in life is sales. But
It's all sex and sales.
there it is good. But yeah.
So you saw the SpaceX unlaunch today? Not launch? I
Yeah,
heard about it.
What? It didn't even rain.
It's
It
a
was
shame.
supposed to. I mean, actually, it might have over there.
I guess it's just big clouds.
Where was it? Where was it launching out
I
of?
think in Florida. I don't know. Did you hear that? I don't know. Look it up. I think down in Florida, but I kind of overheard. I turned on with like 20 minutes left, and they canceled at 17 minutes. T17, like T minus 17.
Yeah.
And it was they had
South
the
Texas.
oh
Texas.
South
Kennedy
Texas.
Space Center. No,
Oh,
wait.
Kennedy Space Center is Florida. It's right near Cocoa.
It says, oh no, Boca Chica. in
Where is
Texas.
that? In Texas. Sounds like an island.
But they had the weather control guy on. It was so weird because they had like commentators for the thing, but then we heard like live into these radio calls between whoever was controlling this flight and the air traffic or the meteorologist controller in the area.
Right.
And basically he got him on the phone. Quick rip of this. He got him on the phone with like 18 minutes left, and he's like, I'll check back with you in one more minute, but we got another cloud coming over. It looks like this cloud is going to be there exactly in time for T0. T0 is is
but they could have just
blast
like
off.
wait until that.
So this is what he says. And then he goes something along, like jokingly, he goes like, but if we were to do this in 10 minutes, we actually think it would clear up. But we can't in 10 minutes. It's not. They just decided, like, I guess there were maybe.
They were just on a tight time schedule.
I guess it was scheduled for then. You got to worry about maybe. I was trying to figure out maybe planes or.
Yeah, that could be.
I don't really know why, but
obviously planes
the
are
extension
notified,
of 10 minutes was like not allowed. It was denied, I guess.
That's kind of crazy that, and I mean, who do you think would have that final say in that, and if that launch happened? Elon
I don't
Musk?
know. I was hoping. I don't think Elon Musk was actually there. I don't even think he was.
Yeah, but do you think they'd call him and be like, "Yeah, like, should we launch this shit?"
No. It's not his. It's the town's decision whether they were allowed to do that launch, or I guess the county controller, whatever it was. Like, but they didn't. Tesla or SpaceX didn't make that decision. It was. They were like, "You're not approved to go another 10 minutes later."
Right.
So SpaceX can't be like, "No, we're just gonna fucking shoot this thing into the sky with people in it." Like, that's what it was supposed to be, bringing Americans back to space.
Dude, that's honestly crazy though if you think about it, like that he's doing that. Like,
dude, it's really just kind of proof of concept for his things. Like,
yeah,
this isn't actually to accomplish anything for him. He just needs to prove he can do manned spacecraft because he's reached a couple feats in spacecraft already in the past couple of years that are like on having a rocket go up and then come back down and land.
Yeah.
Have you seen those at all?
No.
He sends a rocket up and then it lands in the same spot it came down from, like nicely lands. A rocket that comes down from space.
It came down from like it went up. To
It
space.
went up. It did its like little job. I think it had to put some type of receivers up in the sky. He's got like a net of receivers. He's gonna do like this Wi-Fi thing. It puts a receiver up in over the atmosphere just to catch orbit, and then the rocket comes back down into the atmosphere, going down the side of the Earth, and then it lands in the same spot. Dude, it came back. It like
crazy,
launched
bro.
from.
That's like shit that you see in like movies. You know what I'm saying? Like you never.
It's crazy because that's what we were kind of expecting, I think, for 50 years, going back to when the first time they landed on the moon, like people in general. And then it's like only happening now.
We wouldn't have to like fucking. Dude, I think it's.
I mean,
nuts.
his plan is to go to Mars.
Yeah, dude, I think it's nuts how like, besides like those ships, like, how they come back normally, like they just fucking like they're literally hurtling toward Earth. And then they fucking shoot out the parachute and like.
What they'll do is
that's crazy.
You don't hurl straight down. You catch because the Earth is spinning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you kind of catch almost like you would catch a wave with a surfboard, or like you kind of have to catch a smooth spot, falling into the atmosphere sideways. So you'd be like gliding over there. If I'm maybe his rockets work differently, but I know this is how rockets generally come back into the atmosphere, because if they come straight down, this is because if a rocket comes straight down to the atmosphere, it'll actually just burn up. That's too fast, too
That's
hot.
what
So they need to like fall sideways and like slowly catch more and more pressure and air. I don't even know, yo.
Dude, that's crazy, bro. I can't even imagine being in one of those things.
I'm just a fucking monkey. I can't explain space.
Yeah, dude. I'm an Earth boy.
Flight.
I'm an Earth boy.
Yeah, I'm an Earth boy. Soon there'll be Mars children, though.
Soon, yeah.
You think in our life?
Nah, I don't. Maybe not children, but they'll definitely. I feel like Elon Musk will be starting to. I remember we talked about this the other day. Like, I feel like Elon Musk will be starting to like trying to like build an atmosphere like on
the terraforming, right? The terraforming. And his Mars. I remember hearing, his plan, and he's always saying dates way ahead of time. That you can just put it out there. You always hear him saying dates ahead of time, and then those kind of like failing. But he's ambitious as fuck. I mean, the guy's doing so much. How can you blame him if his Tesla truck's like a year late?
Yeah, exactly.
He's
literally like trying to save the world.
They're all electric, everything. And anyway, originally it was like for 2030. The first flight to Mars is his plan. Is like 20, or maybe he said 2022, but I think then he moved that back to like 2030 for sure, like by 2030. Yeah. But the thing about traveling to Mars is, think about our solar system,
right?
And how we're all revolving around the sun. We're not. Sometimes we're gonna be here, and Mars is gonna be on the opposite side of the sun.
Yeah.
So we can actually only shoot a flight up to Mars or down from Mars every 2 years. Because that's when we're in line. If any other time would be completely inefficient and like...
Yeah, it'd be...
Yeah. So if you were to go, you'd have to wait at least 2 years. Mm-hmm. And I'm going.
Yeah, for a fact.
I'm going to grow some space bud, dude. I'm going to be the first farmer.
That would be... Well, yeah, if we create an atmosphere, then it'll be possible.
Dude, what if they don't legalize bud on Mars?
Nah, dude, it'll obviously... Get the fuck out of here. It'll obviously be...
It's not even legal here on Earth.
Dude, exactly, that's what I'm saying. That's like gonna be their thing.
Right, Mars is advanced.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna be like... Dude, because dude,
what else?
The people on Mars are gonna be like, yo, why would we want to go back to Earth? Like, then we get arrested for like bud and shit. Like, the fuck. I mean, dude, they would. I feel like you would at that point, like the first people there, like who like are like.
They just like write down on a piece of paper. This is what we're gonna do now.
They could just call the shots, basically. And just
what are the yo? You're on the first Mars craft, lunar, Musk, 10, and you shoot up. The flight is another 6 months, and then you finally land on Mars. You're there. And they're like, Chuddy, you gotta write the new Mars's 10 Commandments.
What do I? Dude. Are you talking about 10 like?
No,
laws,
you don't need to
laws?
make 10. But what is Chuddy's first rules?
Okay.
If everyone's going in a circle, giving up a rule, and I'm like, all right, no murder, and now it's your turn.
All right.
You're on Mars. Ryan Putz decrees.
Drinking and driving is allowed.
Whoa.
Yeah. To a certain, all right. If not allowed, you will
on your Mars rover, you're allowed to get wasted.
No, but just because like, maybe not like complete. Like you can't like be like passed out, but like 0.08, dude. Like that's not that much, dude. Like. Remember, have you seen the Try Guys?
Are you really complaining about 0.08? All right, so
have you seen
point 2 on Mars? You just can't be shit-faced?
Yeah. You just can't, like you can't be, like, passed out, dude. Like...
No, you just have to be awake.
No, like, conscious. Like...
Conscious?
Yeah, like... Bro. You don't understand.
What do you mean I don't understand?
Because you haven't seen the video of the Try Guys on BuzzFeed, bro. Have you seen, BuzzFeed.
What? What
they tried. they tried the legal like alcohol in it, and they were like 0.08, so they like kept drinking until, and they kept like.
What was 0.08? Like 2 beers?
It was different for all of them. I'm pretty sure.
Really?
Yeah.
It's your blood alcohol level. So
Right. It depending on height, weight, everything.
So I was like, and they were going, and they got to 0.08, and they were like, dude, they're like, I'm kind of buzzed. Like, I was
What were
like,
they
that's
drinking?
bullshit.
Wait, what were they drinking? Well, yeah, Chuddy, you can't
Pulled the
like
vid
set
down.
the president as like 0.15.
Can't
Probably
pull up the vid on
beer.
here.
Huh?
Probably beer.
Probably beer.
Yeah.
I can't
And-
pull up the video on here.
Yeah, we can't play a video and run it at the same time.
Yeah.
You think there's any aliens on Mars? You think we'd run into that issue?
Maybe not on Mars. But
Probably
there's
not.
Definitely,
If they'd have to hide pretty well if they were
Yeah.
on Mars, because we
but
got high.
there's definitely dude, the crazy, you saw, obviously everybody's seen the UFOs. The government literally came out and said they were like, we don't know what the fuck these things are. Like,
Dude, I can't believe they came out and said it. Why'd they
like nationally, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's basic. I mean, because if you saw like the way it moved and stuff, and they were like, dude, like, that's not like they would know if it was
Yeah,
like
we don't
somebody
know
from
what
another
does
country,
that.
like yeah.
What for to?
Those
But this was for those videos, right, where it was like that lieutenant who saw them, right, who was like recording them.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was like a military guy
it was
recording them.
Yeah.
And I think when the government released
Well, no, it was
that,
it was like on like a night vision radar or some shit like that.
right.
It was like-
Right. But when the government released saying like these are unidentified flying, like we
Yeah,
don't know what
yeah.
that is. What it was referring to that video, right?
Yeah.
Or those, yeah.
Those videos.
Those videos.
Yeah. So
But there's much
That's-
more. You
'cause
were
that's the
even going
evidence.
around showing me this video in Brazil the other night. No,
I
at
don't-
John's house.
I don't know if that was me.
That like space. I don't know. But there's always. Yo, I actually read this crazy thing about Area 51 the other day.
What was
How it is. You don't realize, not just Area 51, the whole complex. Look it up what it's called, the complex there. Area 51 is just one part, but that's like a very large part.
Yeah.
And the whole complex that the government owns on there, people can't come anywhere near, whatever, is 3 times the size of Rhode Island.
Really?
The whole state of Rhode Island. I mean, it's a small
yeah,
state.
Rhode Island's
It's a small
tiny,
state, but
still.
they have that much space out there
Yeah.
for their tests on fucking. And this is Area 51 actually started in the 50s, and they started storing a bunch of their atomic bomb shit there.
Really?
After they had dropped them and stuff in
Yeah,
World
yeah,
War
yeah.
II, they pulled
just-
them over here.
Dude, well, you saw that. I'm assuming you saw that
I
shit.
can't find that picture that you found.
Of what?
Like the one that's put in the book.
The
That's what it's
picture.
from.
Oh, right. It's some
Annie
type
Jacobson,
of
Right?
industrial military, huh?
It's Annie Jacobson.
Yeah. But look up what complex is Area 51 in. Did you try that?
Yeah, it didn't come up with
Really?
anything.
It's right in the book too. I don't know where the book is. I think it's downstairs.
But yeah, did you see that guy who previously worked at Area 51 on Rogan?
Lazar?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I don't think Bob Lazar.
Bob Lazar?
Yeah. Actually,
Yeah.
yeah. And they were like, dude, that was crazy. He literally was
That
like,
was crazy, dude.
dude, the story. I mean, I watched the whole 2-hour thing.
Oh, wait.
The fucking story he told. I listened to it on a car ride, dude.
That's the
It was
whole
so
map.
interesting.
So that's the whole map. Nellis
Test
Air.
and training range.
Yeah, Nevada Test and Training Range is what they call it.
What's
that whole
what's
area they own.
Jackass Flats?
I don't know, but they own it. And there's Area 51's pretty large, but this is probably where they store all the aliens and fucking
And
their
all the
brains
aliens,
and have sex with, I don't know,
Yeah.
atomic bombs.
Dude.
Who even knows? Wait,
Who
what,
knows
what were we
goes
just
on down
saying?
there? We were talking about Bob Lazar.
Oh, Lazar, dude. But here, okay. You also watch his special on Netflix?
Dude, is it the one? Yeah, that's the one where he
He's like in his kitchen with his buddy talking.
Wait, is
Yo,
that the,
yo,
wait, is
like,
that the
all
same-
right, so
the
here-
alien in the window.
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of. Is
Yeah,
that the
yo,
one-
it's the alien in the
Dude, that was crazy though, cause dude.
No. So
I don't
here's
know
what
if
I
I
was
believe
gonna say.
that, bro. Cause
Yeah,
then there was like a kid.
exactly.
There was like a kid. I was like, yo, what the fuck is this kid? Like,
Calling
that
on
was
the
supposed.
phone.
Yeah, calling him on the phone. That was supposed to be like his child or something.
He-
Dude,
you
I was
know-
like, yo, what?
He was like, I think alien out the window, and he walks out of the camera for like 5 minutes. Then a man clearly in
Yeah,
an alien
just
suit
like
comes
walks
up,
very
and then
awkwardly
another
and is
5
like,
minutes later,
yep.
he comes back and he's like, did you guys see anything? Was there an alien in there?
Yeah, yo, it's such a weird video. And anyway,
But dude, but
well, I was
did
gonna
he
say-
actually worked at Area
here's
51?
what I was gonna
so,
say.
like, I don't
Well,
know.
there's no the government doesn't say that's true. No one's
Oh,
ever
really?
no one has ever accredited and
That's just
because
because when I Google him, it just says it like used to work at Area 51.
Right, right. No, I mean according to journalists, whatever.
Yeah.
These are the stories in that he says he went to UCLA and everything, but according to state records and stuff, everything on him's basically been erased. There's nothing really there.
Well, that's sketchy.
I don't know, but it could also mean he doesn't have. It goes both ways. But anyway, well, I listened to the Rogan podcast with Bob Lazar, and I was freaking the fuck out. It convinced me, like when he went on Rogan's show, the shit they were talking about, how
I was like
intensely.
it was creating gravity and shit.
Oh
like,
my god, how
it was
deep
in
he
detail.
got in.
Yeah.
Oh my.
That's why I was
like,
why I was so convinced. Dude.
That
That's
is
why I was
that is one compelling story.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and if it's not, you know,
dude, he talked about it for what, 2 hours? Like
it was long one.
he-
It ran, and
Yeah.
then I watched his show on Netflix,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The show.
and then we actually
was that
watched
actually
it, and
him though? Because dude,
so-
think about it. Was that could that have been like just somebody like?
no, he literally did the one that I watched that I'm thinking of, and I'm pretty sure his name was in the title.
He might have just done it for money, maybe. You know.
Dude, but his name was in the title. It's not that it looked horrible, Chuddy. All I'm saying is this. I was pretty convinced after the Rogan podcast. Then I saw his Netflix thing, and for an hour of it, literally an hour, I wasn't seeing any, drawings of his from when he was there. I wasn't seeing any like thing he brought back. It was literally just him and someone else like talking. Like it might as well have been a podcast. Like he just was moving from like room to room, like in his kitchen. He was like, yeah. And then when I was in Area 51, I was with my buddies, and I told them to come out and see the lights, and everyone said they saw it and whatever. And it just was like they all said that what I said is true.
Yeah.
It just sounded like a lot of like, what I'm not lying.
Yo,
like,
and then what happened, dude? He was with his friends. I remember when that kid popped up, right? And he took a picture of it, and then he showed his buddy, right? He showed one of his friends who vouched for him, and then he walked back in and he was like, yeah. And then the picture was deleted. Like he was like, but my one buddy saw it.
Yeah,
like, I was like, dude, what? Like.
That is like the dumbest thing.
Yeah, I was like,
just-
yo, you couldn't have come up with like a better, like that's just like. Should have just said I saw it. I didn't take a picture of it. He was like, I took a picture of it, but then it got deleted. But my one buddy saw it. He was like, he vouched for me. I was like, bro, what are you talking about right now? But yeah, the podcast was convincing though.
That shit was.
Maybe he's just crazy and he was just rambling about just bullshit. It could also be something.
I wonder. I mean, I remember hearing that Rogan podcast, and they were like, after this, yeah, we'll go get dinner. We'll talk more like certain things you can't say, like whatever. They must have gotten dinner after that, like Rogan and those two guys, according to what they said on the podcast. I wonder what was like said at that table.
Who, Joe Rogan, Bob Lazar,
and the journalist guy who brought Bob Lazar there.
Oh,
I think those were the three guys.
Yeah. Dude.
43 minutes.
Interesting.
That's crazy.
Okay. Well, I think I had a pretty good time.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely did.
This was cool. We talked to land. Good introduction. Listen, as I feel doing this with a couple of the other guys already for the first time, it's tough the first time. I'm actually still getting a little uncomfortable, but I'm loosening up.
Right.
Like, and you did good. Don't get me.
I hope so.
I think we both did good. Had fun here.
Yeah.
But this will just get better. It'll flow better. We'll be with our friends.
You, bro, we need the camera.
And we got to keep doing this. We got to keep grinding.
Once we get the camera, bro, it's a wrap.
You guys,
it's current, says Joe.
You're gonna be shocked. Me and Putz, it's uncanny.
It's charismatic, bro.
It's charismatic.
It's charismatic.
It's charismatic. How was that? Pretty good, I thought. What do you think? Should you be able to knock back a 40 before you get in your Mars rover. That was my friend Ryan Putz. Thanks for listening.